Good afternoon, traders. It's Bill Baruch with Blue Line Futures, and this is the FX Rundown. We're seeing the dollar strengthen just a little bit here as the day has developed. Today, Kansas City Fed President Esther George did say that she doesn't see the reason to cut rates, even if the trade war continues to loom. She doesn't want to see asset bubbles continue. So it helped pick up the dollar a little bit here again as the session unfolded. Now the euro, though, found good technical resistance yesterday against major three-star level. We talked about it in the FX Rundown, pointing out it basically has tested major three-star resistance about 10 times over the last 11 sessions, and it hasn't been able to close out above there. There's a really good thick wall of resistance there, and we're starting to see the euro back off the same way the dollar index has found a floor at 97. Now tomorrow brings a more data-dependent session. You got GDP coming from Germany early, the Eurozone numbers through the morning, and then you got retail sales, New York Empire State manufacturing from the U.S., and industrial production. So those are all going to move that euro and dollar trade directionally. See how that data comes out. Tonight, first, you're going to get a good pulse on the risk sentiment. Obviously, with the U.S. and China trade war budding right now and getting worse, but even though it is worse, there is a bit of a near-term floor on sentiment in the sense that all the news is now known. But tonight you have a deluge of data coming from China. Industrial production is the number one. You have fixed asset investment, which is a number we like very much to watch closely. And then retail sales and unemployment, all coming from China tonight at 10 p.m. Central Time Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Time tonight. So keep an eye on all of that. And then tomorrow, big number coming out of Canada, looking at the CPI. Now, the Canadian dollar did finish and hold marginally in the green. We're watching that number, watching that closely, as it hasn't broken down below major three-star support yet. We did introduce a slight bearish bias in the Canadian dollar. We think it can break down that floor below 74. Keep an eye on that. That CPI number is going to drive it. And they have crude inventories as well that are going to be important for the Canadian dollar. So keep an eye on that. But what did break down below major three-star support is that Aussie dollar. So watch that Aussie. There's really a path to least resistance down there to about 68.5. Keep a close eye on that. And that Chinese industrial production data and all the other data points from China are going to move that Aussie very, very much tonight. So keep a close eye on all of it. And then lastly, the yen. The yen, it's coming in just a bit here with a little bit of a better risk sentiment. You've seen the gold come in as well as treasuries today, and of course the yen. The dollar strengthened too. So the yen did stall at some strong resistance up there at 91.85, 92. And again, it's pulling back, but it can remain constructive. We laid a landscape and a path out last night in the FX Rundown for what it needs to see to stay constructive. Keep a close eye on those numbers. All those support resistance levels in the report last night are all valid still. Again, give us a call with any questions, 312-278-0500. You can email us info@bluelinefutures.com. You can check our website for updates. You can sign up for a free trial of our research there. But remember, futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Thanks a lot.